Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'll be introducing you to one of my favorite hobbies, which is crocheting. So these are the instruments I use, the equipment, my stuff. So this is my stitch marker. It comes in two colors. I got this pack of 20 from AliExpress. I can't really remember the price, but it was quite cheap. And it's used to like make marks in your crochet work. And this is what we call the yarn needle. It looks like a normal needle, but it's big enough for yarn. Actually, the thickness of the yarn, you put the yarn through it and use it like any other needle. I also got it with the stitch marker, so I can't really remember the price, but it was quite cheap too from AliExpress. So this is my pack of crochet hooks. It contains 10 different hooks from 2mm to 10mm. These I also got from AliExpress. They were like about 2,000 naira at that time. I don't know how much they are right now. So this right here is yeye wool. I don't know the exact color it's called, but it's the yeye wool in the regular size. I heard that there's a bigger thickness than this, but I have not used such. So what I usually do is double the strands of the yarn. So today what I'll be using for this is the 3mm hook, which is this pink one. I didn't know it was upside down, sorry about that. So I usually use it I use between the 3mm, 3.0, 3.5, 4.0, depending on how many strands of wool I'm using to make the project. So what I'm making now is the slip knot. It is what we used to start. Usually I use my fingers to make my slip knot, but some people use their hooks to make their slip knots. I have not really mastered that. I prefer using my fingers to make the slip knot. So this is what we call a chain. So basically pulling the yarn through the slip knot you made is making a chain. So you can do this multiple times to make as many chains as you want to. So right now I'm making 10 chains, to which I would add one because I usually like to add an extra stitch to make it an odd number, so that I can skip a stitch and like make the work look neater. This, like I mentioned earlier, is called the chain stitch, and it's also known as a foundation stitch. So how did I start crocheting? The very first time I picked up yarn to crochet was in my JSS class, and I saw a lot of my classmates do it. Yarn was really cheap that time. I think it was about 17 naira per ball, and so there's this pin we use in Nigeria called the knitting pin. That was like 20 naira every pin per pin, so like it was really cheap, and a lot of people were using it in my secondary school. So I picked it up and never really made anything out of it. So this right here that I'm doing is called a single crochet. It's the thinnest and the tightest stitch there is. It's my least favorite. I usually don't like using it because it's like you'd walk for hours and you still look like you're on the same spot. I really don't like using it. It's really tight and very short compared to the others. So like when you're walking, you don't really see that much progress. So back to my story. So that's how I actually learned the foundation of crocheting. I remember that time I don't think I even finished even one project. Like in one project do like 5 different stitches, so like it was just really messed up. But in 2020, during the lockdown, I went to visit one of my friends and she was crocheting, and I was like, dude, I know how to do that. That's so cool that you're doing this. So I was like, you know what, I'm not even doing anything at home. So I went and searched my little town for some crochet materials. I didn't find the actual crochet hooks. I found those Nigerian knitting pins that could not do anything reasonable. I got the balls of yarn and I began to do some things. The first thing I made that year was foam pouch for my mom. Then after that, I think I made some headbands. That was when I was like trying to refine my technique. I was trying to understand what I was doing and trying to just basically understand what actual crocheting was, and not just what I knew as a child. So that's when I actually began to crochet, and from that time I've been able to make some reasonable projects, like things I wear almost every opportunity I'm given. So this right here is called the half double crochet. It's my favorite stitch. It's pretty, it gives height, it's as tight as the single crochet but has more height than the single crochet. It's really pretty. Most of my work have been with the half double crochet stitch. Yes, it's literally my favorite. So out of all the projects I've made, my favorite is the market bag I made. I don't know, I tried putting a picture of it, but I was having some issues. But those on my other social media platforms can be able to see it. It's really pretty. I just like, when I made it, my mom was like, "I give me that bag. You don't need that bag. That bag is fine. That bag is big." And I tried to drag, but I noticed I wasn't really using it for anything. I usually prefer smaller bags, and that was like a very, very big bag. So yeah, I finally gave it to her, and yeah, basically she's using it now. So this right here is called the double crochet. It's taller than the half double crochet. It's not as pretty. I hardly use it, but like if I'm really lazy and I don't want to stress, then I make use of it. It's also a pretty stitch depending on what you are using it for. There are other stitches, but these are like the foundation stitches, the basic ones. There are others like the star stitch, the shell stitch, a whole bank of very pretty stitches. So don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment in the comment section what next you'd like to see from me. Thank you very much.